Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Careers in Biotechnology, What You Need to Know, jointly presented by the Hindu and VIT Chennai. This session is part of VIT Chennai's ongoing initiative, Biotechnology, Role in Industry 5.0, Sustainable Future Pathways, and brings together voices from academia, research, entrepreneurship, and science education to help students and early career professionals understand how biotechnology careers are evolving in today's world. As industry moves towards Industry 5.0, the focus is no longer only on automation and efficiency, but on human-centric innovation, sustainability, interdisciplinary skills, and real-world impact. Biotechnology sits at the heart of this shift, spanning healthcare, food systems, materials, diagnostics, education, and environmental solutions. In today's discussion, we'll focus on emerging career pathways in biotechnology, the intersection of research, industry, and entrepreneurship, skills and mindsets needed for Industry 5.0, and navigating careers across academia, startups, and applied research. You're welcome to post your questions, audience, in the chat box throughout the webinar. We'll take them up during the Q&A segment towards the end of the session. In today's discussion, we are joined by four distinguished speakers, and we'll hear from them in the following order. First, we move to our first speaker is Dr. G. Jayaraman, Professor and Dean, School of Biosciences and Technology, VIT Chennai. He's been associated with VIT Chennai for the past 21 years. Dr. Jayaraman is an academic leader with extensive experience in biotechnology education, research, and academic administration. His work spans structural biology, microbial systems, and bioinformatics, with a strong focus on translating scientific research into meaningful academic and societal outcomes. He has guided numerous doctoral and master's students, contributed extensively to peer-reviewed research, and played a key role in shaping biotechnology programs at VIT. Dr. Jayaraman will set the context by speaking on how biotechnology education and research are aligning with Industry 5.0 and emerging career pathways. Dr. Jayaraman, over to you.
Thank you, Akira. So good morning, everyone. Just a minute. Yes. Welcome everyone on board, and then to the prospective students of biotechnology. Today, I will take you through the following terms on the biotechnology, why biotechnology education, and what is the biotechnology, and how VIT can help you in enhancing your biotechnology skills. Let me start with something very popular and very interesting, because life on Earth is very much fascinating, and definitely we have to work for it in a sustainable way. The single length of the DNA molecule is about 2 meters, but then if you put the DNA that is present in all the cells, it's about 160 billion kilometers. Imagine it is like traveling between Earth and the Sun 100 times. But still, you don't see that vast system inside. But it does a lot of things. And the second example is the blood vessels, which when laid from end to end, they stretch to about 96,000 kilometers. It is almost 2 times around the Earth's equator. So that is the system we are in. And the efficiency of the system is so very high that it does everything very carefully in a very, very sustainable way. And definitely we learn from nature. Nature is the best teacher. So when we define what is biotechnology, it is about developing technologies, developing systems, developing products using the living organisms or the molecules derived therefrom. And if you have to develop these technologies or manipulate the system, modulate the system, definitely we need to understand them first, their organization, process, and the functions. And only then we will be able to tailor them. And all these organisms that are present on the Earth are evolved over a long period of time, millions of years. And definitely they have undergone a lot of changes. And adapting.
Sorry to interrupt, Dr. Jayaraman.
Yes.
Sir, your slide is not moving. Could you please check the slides aren't moving to the next ones? Could you please check. The slides aren't moving.
Is it fine?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
So
yes,
we need to understand these living systems first before we apply these technologies. And adaptation of these organisms, in fact, it's due to the external changes in the environment. And therefore, the best way to learn any specific living system, and if we can tailor them in the way we want, then definitely we can claim that we have understood the system. So we talk about the biotechnology can definitely give us a sustainable solution, make Earth a better place to live in, and we focus on good health and well-being. And there are demands which are ever changing. Demands are not constant, and therefore, depending on the demands, we need to evolve the technologies for involved in biology. And this is not just for the human beings. It is for all life forms of Earth, because every life form is interrelated. So it is sustainable development that we are talking about. And definitely it is going to be a cleaner place and safer place. And whatever practices that we are talking about should be ethical and should be environmental friendly. So put you on board, there are different domains or verticals in biotechnology, depending on the applications. We talk about red biotechnology, which talks about the medical and pharmaceutical; white or gray biotechnology, which talks about the industrial processes; green biotechnology, which talks about the agriculture; gold biotechnology, bioinformatics and data analytics; blue biotechnology, marine; yellow, food production; and of course, we have the ethical considerations as well. So to just take you through the different types and what you need to learn, how you need to equip with, what are the applications of all this. So medical and pharmaceutical biotechnology talks about the therapeutics and vaccines. All of us are very much aware of the COVID vaccine. So that was the need of the hour. Development of the vaccine is again a biotechnological process which has been done by manipulating a particular system. And all these products are derived from the living organisms as well. And precise diagnostics, drug carriers, 3D bioprinting, and mainly this focuses on healthcare and improvement. White biotechnology, which is industrial, it talks about the different manufacturing processes, because all these molecules, what we need, should be scaled up for applications. And all these processes cannot be just a chemical process. It should not pollute the environment, and therefore application of the biotechnology, say specific enzymes, definitely is going to build a greener atmosphere. And white biotechnology also involves production of biofuels, which is sustainable, and also to the creation of biodegradable practices. And therefore, we say go green technology. Green biotechnology, which talks about the agricultural aspects, improvement in the crop yield, crop nutrition, and also pest resistance. We talk about the nutritional status, which is very, very essential for the human well-being and well-being of all the life forms of Earth. And therefore, biotechnology helps us to modulate the process that are present in these crops so that it can have better yield, nutrition, and any other specific characteristics. And in all these, definitely genetic engineering aspects, tissue cultures, all these are being taken into account. And the best examples is that of the golden rice and pest-resistant crops that have been yielding. Hello biotechnology talks about the food processes, baking, fermentation processes, probiotics, and we are talking about sustainable developments with respect to the protein production, lab-grown meat, development of probiotics, which again is by the biotechnological processes. Blue biotechnology, marine, uses the marine organisms for all the needs that we are talking about. We also talk about production of nutritional supplements, bioremediation, and even cosmetics. Cosmetics, we talk about marine collagen derived from marine organisms for anti-aging as well as skin hydrations. Also production of bioplastics and the packaging materials from seaweed or any other marine organisms. The major one again is bioinformatics. And of course, we have computational biology also. because there is a lot of data that is present on the organisms, and therefore bioinformatics is a must. And this uses AI and ML. And all these can be predicted. You could talk about organizing the data, storing the data, and also try to make some predictions based on a specific rationalization. And this is the requirement for any other biotechnological applications as well. We also talk about aligning ourselves with the government initiatives, National Biopharma Mission, where we talk about production of biopharmaceuticals, vaccines, and so on and so forth. India is gearing up, and it is estimated that India's bioeconomy will be about $300 billion in the year 2030. Why study at Vellore Institute of Technology? VIT definitely provides hands-on skills in all these verticals, that whatever we have projected. And of course, if you ask me whether I can upskill in all these, definitely not. But then the basis that is being given here, you can go in any of the verticals of your choice. And all these choices are given as concentration baskets. If you want to specialize in yourself in industrial biotechnology, you can. In pharmaceutical, you can. In terms of bioinformatics, you can. So all these skill sets are provided at VIT. And there are a lot of project-only courses which help you to do some multidisciplinary projects which can meet up the industrial requirement and is essential for upskilling. And therefore, there are a lot of opportunities to enhance your skills at industries as well, not just in the labs in the academia. You can go to an industry and then you can upskill your skills, and not only in India, but also abroad. You can also involve in the research in chosen areas along with the faculty members, and definitely there is going to be a very good groundwork for your lifelong learning. So let us make our process be more sustainable, orient or work towards the Industry 5.0, which talks about smart human-machine collaboration for personalized outcome. That is what the need of the hour. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for the detailed presentation and setting the overview on biotech education. We are moving to the next speaker. Next speaker of the day is Dr. P.R. Yashwant, Assistant Professor, School of Biosciences and Technology, VIT Chennai. Dr. Yashwant is trained in biosciences and bioengineering with hands-on experience in microbial fermentation, microalgal cultivation, bioprocess engineering, and bioplastics. His work bridges fundamental research and applied industrial processes, particularly in sustainable materials and bio-based solutions. He brings a strong perspective on process development, scale-up, and industry-relevant research, making his insights especially valuable for students considering careers beyond conventional lab research. Dr. Yashwant will speak about industry-aligned research careers, sustainability-focused biotech roles, and skills needed to work at the interface of science and manufacturing. Dr. Yashwant, please go ahead.
Sure, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So let us know about what are the careers in biotechnology. Why biotechnology is a career of the future? Because during the COVID pandemic, a lot of issues faced during the health. So COVID-19 vaccines are developed in a short period of time. Now the personal medicines are being into the market. Apart from that, the wastewater is being converted to energy in the form of microbial fuel cells. And nowadays we don't require the chemicals for a transformation of the pollutants, where we can use the microbes to bioremediation for the useful products. So all this is in biotechnology in action. So India is emerging as a biotechnology hub, providing various opportunities in the pharma industries to the agriculture, environmental, diagnostic and bioinformatics, and AI-driven biology. So moving the areas, classifying into various sectors. So we have almost 6 sectors of the career pathways. In that, one is the research and development. Here, it is the research we start with the industries, universities, etc. And here, the research also starts with the students like you people. So the major roles of research institute include research scientist, research associate, and project scientist. And in the case of pharmaceutical industries and vaccine industries, so we have a development of vaccines and therapeutic proteins are the major products. So in In the pharmaceutical industries, you can work as production executive, quality control, quality assurance, and validation officer, and regulatory affairs section. Coming to the bioinformatics and computational biology, when you develop the skills of biology along with the computation, basically with data analysis and basic of programming, so you can be a bioinformatics scientist and genomics data scientist, and apart from that, drug discovery specialist. So agricultural field and biotechnology field mainly is very important because with a growing population, we require food, and this development of disease-resistant crops are very much important. Apart from, along with the nutritional enhancement, plays a significant role in the avoiding the poverty or something. So we have plant biotech scientist role and seed technology specialist and food safety analyst and fermentation technologies roles we can work as in the agricultural industries. Apart from that, in the environmental and industrial biotechnology, where the biology helps the planets with the green technology and sustainability with the help of microbial organisms to remove the pollutants. Here, you can work as bioremediation expert, bioenergy scientist, and wastewater treatment specialist, and enzyme technology expert. And coming to the non-lab careers, basically, if you're not interested to work with a lab experiments, so you can switch into the non-lab career environment where you can be a part of regulatory affairs, medical rating, patent analysis, so sales sector. Apart from that, science communication and entrepreneurship and the startup development. So along with the studies, you have to acquire various skills during your undergraduate courses. That is, you have to develop. First is about the bringing strong fundamental knowledge in the biology. Apart from that, development of practical lab skills along with internships during the summers and the vacation time, along with engaging into small projects activities. And apart from that, you can develop the data analysis skills using Excel, Power BI, R, Python language, and along with that, you can increase your communication skills with the writing and the presentations, and developing a problem solving mindset is very important. And along with that, curiosity and begin learning at every stage is very important. Here, the skills create the careers, not just the certificates. So after doing an undergraduate course in the BTech biotechnology, shall we do higher studies or shall we join the job? So that is the major of the students will be thinking. Shall I do MTech, MBA, PhD, or start working? So if you love the research, you can go ahead with a PhD, with a MTech degree. And apart from that, if you work in an industry along with master's degree with the internships, you can start entering into the industries. When you like management, till now you have developed the technical skills. So after that, you have to raise the funds, managing you can be a market manager and production manager. So like that, you can develop skills using after you can join MBA as a career. Then along with that, you have to develop the skills and innovations to basically enter into entrepreneurship. So success mainly depends on the clarity, consistency, and the commitment. So final message is every vaccine, every drug, and every scientific breakthrough began with students like you. You are just not studying the biotechnology, you are trying to change the world. So biotechnology is where the curiosity meets compassion and science meets the society requirements. So choose this field just not as a career, it as a mission. Thank you, and I wish you a future full of discovery and the impact. So I would
Thank
also
you so much, Doctor. Yes, sure, please. Please continue. Sorry,
I would also like to thank you, VIT Chennai and the Hindu and Dr. Jayaraman sir to be a part of, giving me a chance to be a part of this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much for the detailed presentation. Shall we move to our next speaker? We have Dr. Venkata Krishna Benyani, Senior Researcher and Lead, Science Education Research, Prayoga Institute of Education Research, Bengaluru. Dr. Venkata Krishna works at the intersection of microbiology, biotechnology, and science education. His research includes microbial metabolites, enzyme applications, biodegradation, and biosensors, alongside a strong commitment to mentoring young students in meaningful research. At Prayoga, he leads initiatives that help school students engage with real scientific questions, highlighting alternative and impactful career paths in science beyond traditional rules. Dr. Venkata Krishna will share insights on research careers, interdisciplinary thinking, and the role of education-driven innovation in shaping future biotech professionals? Over to you, Dr.
Yeah, thank you, Athura. I'll share my screen. Yeah, so very good morning, one and all who are participating in this webinar, the students, parents, my co-panelist members. Very good morning to all of you. I think it is morning, very close to afternoon. Yeah. And I would like to thank the Hindu, especially for organizing this webinar very timely. It is very important to know the need of biotechnology, and students who enter into the biotechnology stream, they will enter the stream with a lot of passion and a lot of interest, but slowly they will get confused with what kind of career to be chosen over the time. And I feel this is a very timely webinar, which will help most of the students to gain understanding about what kind of career opportunities are possible. I'll try to focus a bit more on what kind of research opportunities are there, especially after undergraduation and post-graduation. And at the end, you can ask me the questions as well. So across the globe, when you look at the numbers, there are 23,000 biotechnology companies, and this is not small. And even in India, there are hundreds of companies like pharma companies, biopharma companies, and some are startups, and some are food related, and some are enzyme related companies. There are a lot of companies in India which are basically working on the technology driven by biotechnology. And at present, there are 370 products and vaccines which are under testing, which means very soon we'll see all these products in the form of vaccines or in the form of drug molecules in the market very soon. A lot of research is happening across the globe, predominantly across 29 different countries. So more than 200 diseases which are under trial now with these drug molecules and the vaccines, especially like Alzheimer's disease, heart disease, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, AIDS, and arthritis, and there are many more drugs. If you look at the growth rate year by year, it is expected to grow at 10% rate at every year, which is quite phenomenal kind of a growth, which you can see, especially after the COVID, the time we have seen. And 400 billion is expected kind of the market value if you look at the entire biotechnology market across the globe. I'll try to discuss more on three different broader areas of career opportunities which are possible, like research, academia, and industry. Once you complete graduation, either you can choose research to be as your career, or academia as to be your career, or the industry. If you choose research, there are multiple options within research you can explore. While academia along with research, what kind of possible opportunities are available, I'm going to briefly discuss about that, and then the industry. So there are different sectors of jobs which are available both in private and government categories. Dr. Yashwant has already discussed about some of the roles and the different departments associated with that. Research associate, professor, sales manager, quality analyst, plant breeder, and so on. So all these designations are predominantly you can see either in education organization or a research organization or some kind of a industry, food industry, or a fermentation industry, a drug manufacturing industry, or a drug R&D or a CRO, contract research organization. So there are different roles and responsibilities a biotechnologist can perform across all these sectors. So let me start with the research career. What kind of research career a person after having a graduation or a post-graduation after a PhD can have in the research. So they can join a research organization like CSIR Lab or ICMR, Indian Institute of Science, IIT or ICERS. And beyond these national institutes, there are many more private universities, NGOs, private research organizations, and state and central universities where there are very well-versed research labs are established. They can join either as junior research fellow or as a research assistant after their graduation, or as a project scientist, or as a research technician, as a lab manager. There are different roles that they can choose. So if you want to do a PhD, then there are multiple exams at national level and state level will be conducted, and there are some exams which are conducted even at university level. It is university specific kind of a test which allow you to take a PhD as your career. I have listed down a lot of scholarship and fellowship which are available across the country. Some are meant for undergraduation, some are meant only for post-graduation, and some for PhD fellowship, and some for the postdoctoral fellowship. Even if you want to do masters or PhD in abroad, so there are a lot of fellowships which are available. So these are all available just a single click away from you. If you type what kind of fellowship you're looking for and what kind of, whether it is UG, PG or a PhD fellowship, you can see all the details on Google very clearly. If you're choosing academic career as a long-term path, then you have to keep few things in mind that PhD is a mandatory now for you to join any organization, any research, any education institution as assistant professor. The PhD is going to be mandatory, and you should have decent number of publications in your research domain. And having a research grant will be an added advantage for you to join any institute as assistant professor or a teaching faculty. And a good teaching experience will add you again and subject expertise. So either you can join as a PhD scholar, postdoctoral fellow, or assistant professor, or as a teaching faculty or academic research scientist. Nowadays, most of the academic institutions, they want the teachers to be doing teaching along with the research as well, which involves a lot of research funding, getting the grants, and a lot more opportunities again. If you choose industry career as your option, then there are a lot of industries across our country. There are many in Bangalore as well, and Chennai, and there are in major cities there are a lot of biopharma companies and pharma companies, diagnostic companies, agro biotech companies, food industries. So every industry needs a biotechnology professional in different roles and responsibilities. If you want to get into industry as a career, then there are a few things that you have to gain expertise. You ensure that you have very good hands-on experience handling cell lines, handling microbial cultures, and working with upstream processing and downstream processing steps, how to optimize them, how to do an assay which involves a lot of biochemicals. And you should have fair idea about different audits like NABL, US FDA, and ISO, and a few more audits. What is auditing? What is SOP? You should have some knowledge about all these terms if you want to take up industry as your career. And there are different roles like QA, QC analyst, research associate, bioprocess executive, downstream processing scientist. I have included only a few here, but there are many more different types of roles which are part of the biopharma and biotech industries. So here, either you can choose wet lab or dry lab as the option. In wet lab, you'll have a lot of work, something to deal with recombinant DNA technology, cell culture, microbiology, molecular biology, and all this. And if you choose dry lab as your career, then you may have to work with some softwares, data analysis, bioinformatics tools, and some softwares like Python and a lot more. I have listed some of the top biotech industries across the country, like Biocon, Syngene, Serum Institute of India, Dr. Reddy's, Sun Pharma, Thermo Fisher, Merck Life Science, Agilent Novozymes, and there are many more actually. So apart from these biopharma companies, there are a few more companies which are like contract research organizations who will take up research projects as contract projects and they will deliver the products. So all of the industries here, either they work towards developing a product or they work towards developing a process or a technology. As already discussed by our previous panel members, the skills which are essentially needed to become a successful biotechnology professional, there are few skills like hands-on lab skills are very important. An interviewer will definitely look for these skills. How good a person is at problem-solving ability, how good he is at understanding the practical nature of the work, the experimental skills, the scientific writing, how good they're at communication. So these are very much important. Apart from these skills, and the core biotechnology skills are also essentially important, like basic skills like media preparation and all the basic techniques like electrophoresis, DNA purification and concentration, and advanced techniques like chromatography and DNA fingerprinting and many more. So these are all very much important. You may or may not get exposed to all the techniques as part of your graduation or post-graduation, but you may have to do some small internships outside your college or the university, take small internships or work with some professors who are already working with these projects, or take up some 2 or 3 months internships in a startup company here and there. So there are multiple options, but you have to somehow get hands-on working with cell lines and genetic engineering experiments and upstream and downstream processing steps and fermentation, optimizing of fermentation conditions and all this. So these are the key skills a biotechnology company will see during the interview time. Okay, so these are again a small repetition, like what kind of skill development is needed beyond your degree, beyond what is there in your curriculum. You may have to learn beyond your curriculum, working with all these molecular biology techniques, fermentation, bioinformatics, scientific writing and all that. If it is part of your curriculum, it is well and good, and you can explore them much more deeper just before searching for the job. Then the chances of getting job will be very easy. Thank you all for your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for the for your insightful presentation. We'll be moving to our final speaker of the day, Dr. J.M. Vidya, alumni of VIT and founder Spot Bio Innovations Private Limited, IIT Madras Research Park, Chennai. Dr. Vidya is a biotechnology entrepreneur working in the area of point-of-care diagnostics with the focus on maternal and child health solutions for low-resource settings. She has led innovation projects supported by national agencies and has been recognized for her work in bio-entrepreneurship and healthcare innovation. In addition to her entrepreneurial journey, she has experience across academia, research management, and science administration, making her perspective especially relevant for those exploring startups and transnational research careers. Dr. Nidya will speak about entrepreneurship in biotechnology, moving ideas from lab to market, and building impact-driven careers. Dr. Nidya, please go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you, Athira. Let me share my screen, and while I do that, a very good morning, it's good afternoon already to all the students and parents. I'm glad to be here today, because before, say, 20 years, I was also looking at, people's or mentors or someone to advise me on what biotechnology is and what genetic engineering is. And I know surprisingly, it's a coincidence, I would say. At that time in 2005, I had written to the Hindu asking what are the career opportunities, and my question will also feature on the paper. So today, after 22 years, I'm very happy to be here to be discussing my experience in the past 20 years in biotechnology. And I'm also very happy to represent VIT University because I was an alumnus of VIT. I completed my PhD in biotechnology from VIT Vellore campus. And the 5 years that I spent there had given me a lot of exposure, a lot of experience, and very good confidence, and a lot of opportunities to take my career ahead. So today I'll be talking about innovation and entrepreneurship in biotechnology for those who might be interested in starting their own companies, who would like to create their own products, etc. So as all the speakers before me emphasized how the bioeconomy of India is growing, and that it's been targeted to be $300 billion in 2030. And I would also like to emphasize that India currently is the third largest startup destination, and we already have 10,000 plus biotech active startups, new companies starting up and doing a lot of work in biotechnology. This push and this lot of work in biotech is being supported by the government of India, the recently launched Bio E3 policy, which is biotechnology for economy, environment, and employment, which says that the biomanufacturing, and India is going to be a hub for biomanufacturing in at least these 6 thematic sectors, which are bio-based chemicals and enzymes, functional foods and smart proteins, precision biotherapeutics, climate resilient agriculture, carbon capture and its utilization, futuristic, marine and space research, where newer biotechnology processes and biotechnology engineered organisms are being used. So what is a bio entrepreneur? An individual like you who would like to use your biological sciences to create commercially viable products or services. So you would be called a bio entrepreneur if this is of your interest. And that basically involves transforming your benchtop discoveries into a bedside or a market ready solution. But becoming bio-entrepreneur is one of the most challenging path, but it's yet rewarding paths in the life sciences. And it requires a rare blend of deep scientific curiosity along with sharp business acumen for you. And the skills that required, one is scientific proficiency. Obviously, you would need to understand the scientific, the discoveries and the inventions in various applied sciences like your molecular biology, bioengineering, or biochemistry, and a strong business intelligence to make you understand about all the business aspects like your market fit analysis, what is profit and loss, how do you invest money, etc. And also in biotech, the very important sector that you would also want to know if you're going to start a company is also understand about the regulatory and the intellectual property rights and the freedom to operate, and what are different patents, can you do something or not, or what are the regulatory agencies that are regulating some of the products that we are going to build out of biotechnology, or the healthcare services or the medtech products that you're going to build. So how to start your journey? But since you are at the very beginning, I assume most of you are in class 12 and looking at UG to choose biotechnology. So your goal isn't to start a company tomorrow. Certainly, I'm not going to push for that. But this is the period where you build a foundation that makes you a formidable founder by your mid-20s. So there are different phases that you would have to navigate to reach the bench to business side. So I would take you through one by one very quickly. First, obviously, the academic power build is very important. If you should take up something which is at the intersection of science and commercialization, like your biotech, bioinformatics, bioengineering, and also try to do something minor like IP law, entrepreneurship courses, or finance literacy courses, etc. And in these days, in upcoming years, there is an edge if you master some of the dry lab skills like coding and AI ML to analyze large biodata sets. And secondly, you have to certainly gain wet lab credibility so try to take up small research activities during your undergraduate, volunteer to a research lab or do small hands-on trainings or workshops, because if you cannot lead, if you don't you can't lead if you don't understand the friction of a lab, because you will be running a company, so you'll at least need to understand how to run a lab. And when we talk about biotech industry research or startup, the one important agency that you should always look for is BIRAC, which is Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, which provides a lot of opportunities, one of which I've mentioned here. As a UG student, you can form teams of your students, and you can apply to various fellowships there, which gives benefits like financial aid, research grants, mentorships, and translational focus, etc. Another useful resource to look at what are the different hands-on trainings available, workshops available, events going on, etc. You could also look at indiabioscience.org, which is again a Government of India initiative where they put up a lot of opportunities in biosciences. And then building a business mindset. So during your UG, while your peers focus on exams, you would also want to learn the language of money. Here again, you can intern at a startup. You can attend some of the pitching competitions where the founders pitch about their business ideas related to biotech products. And you can also take small entrepreneurship courses. Most of these competitions and courses and about the startups always come in Startup India website. So that is another resource that you could look at to understand more about the startups in the country and different events and competitions in the country. And identifying problem gap, because entrepreneurship is about solving a problem. It's not just about doing cool science. So you need a lot of practice on how to identify the right problem to be solved, etc. So some of the recommendations I give is try to learn what biodesign is, and try to learn what biomimicry is, and how nature inspired solutions have really resulted in a lot of business ideas. And you can participate in ideathons, hackathons, and challenges. And again, I've given one of the ongoing challenge by the government of India is Design for Bio E3 challenge, which is open to all the students. You can read about the guidelines on their website, on BIRAC's website, and apply for some of these challenges. You can apply your idea and say how your idea can benefit some of the biomanufacturing problems. And obviously early networking and ecosystem. So immersing yourself in some of the startup ecosystem is very important. So when we say biotech startup ecosystem, there are a lot of BioNest, BIRACs, BioNest incubators. So incubators are these entities which support early stage innovation, student ideas, and help you get that business acumen and help you train in entrepreneurship, etc. You can visit the incubators. You can participate in the networking events. They give a lot of access to networks, small fundings to do your to materialize some of your ideas. They also give some basic infrastructure to get yourself trained, and there are a lot of mentors who can mentor you in these aspects. So since we are talking about VIT here, so VIT also has a very good technology business incubator where they incubate a lot of early stage ideas. A lot of startups have been incubated and successfully commercialized. And finally, after your graduation, how do you transition from a UG biotech graduate to a founder? Again, there are a lot of Government of India programs to help you with that transition. So there are a couple of fellowships that I've mentioned here. Again, BIRAC's Sparsh Fellowship and DST Nidhi Pryor's Entrepreneurship in Residence, and which allows you to learn what entrepreneurship is, check some of your ideas for a period of 12 months with the fellowship, so that you do not struggle for your finance after your graduation. And then if your idea materializes, if it's very good, you can apply for some of the grants. Again, DST's Nidhi Pryor's, BIRAC Big Grant, DSIR Prism, and even Tamil Nadu has innovation voucher program. So these are some of the small grants to check whether your idea is working, whether you can build a prototype before even founding a startup or starting a company. And this is my final slide, where I would like to emphasize on the tech innovations, where you have high performing industrial applications out of your startups, like your medical devices or diagnostics, industrial biotech, drugs, vaccines, and delivery systems. You also have social innovation space here, where humanitarian and ecological impact are possible through public health, through agriculture, through sustainability like climate resilience or waste wealth, etc. So you would have to start building your foundation to create impact through your startups or through your innovation and entrepreneurship in the later years. So I like this quote. I would always like to end my presentation with this quote, which is from a book on biodesign from Stanford Biodesign Process, which says innovation is a process that can be learned, practiced, and perfected through hard work, lots of time, and multidisciplinary teamwork. But it's not magic. So thank you very much, and all the best to all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Nitya. I can already see follow-up questions. Thank you to all our speakers for those insightful presentations. Shall we now open the floor for questions from the audience? Shall I take one by one? I'll start with the ethical considerations in biotechnology. We have a question. Are there ethical considerations in biotechnology? Any of you would like to, Dr. Jairam, would you like to take it up
I will start
on the
and
ethical
then,
considerations? Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
definitely there is a lot of ethical considerations, and then if you want to involve in any specific biological process, ethical ethical clearance has to be obtained first. First of all, even at the laboratory level, you need to have a biosafety committee clearance first for doing any kind of research, because it should not be harmful for the person who is doing the research work or even to the environment. And at another level, if you are involved in human studies, there are the human consent, and the consent form has to be there. The clearance has to be observed over there, and there are specific set of regulations which need to be adhered when you have to do research for humans. And for animal studies, again, there is there is a clearance system which you need to get it before you dwell into the biotechnological research. So there are ethical considerations that you need to be taken. Like I said in the presentation, whatever biotechnological solutions that you are talking about should be beneficial to the whole environment, not just the human. Right? So that is what is straightforward answer. I didn't go too technical, but it is only a layman's language.
Anyone like to add, or shall I move to the next question? We have a question for Dr. Nidya. I have a question for Dr. Nidya about her experience in building the sport goat company and her hurdles that she has come across.
Okay, so building the company, it was not a straightforward thing because I did my UG, then PhD, then I was in academics for a few years, and then came COVID. And during that time, I got this opportunity to do this social innovation fellowship at IIT Madras, and that is when we did a lot of field study and came to understand what are the different healthcare problems with respect to maternal and child health. So that was my focus area: maternal and child health, on ground problems, etc. And that is when I thought, I have the biotech skills, and I need to put my skills to use and for some societal impact. And that was my point when I thought I will build a startup. And of course, there are a lot of government of India initiatives that helped me to build this, and all thanks to the IIT Madras Healthcare Technology Innovation Centers incubator, which helped me with the entire process and with all the infrastructure required. Hurdles, I would say, this biotech is a long time game, and it's not going to give you results within short term, and a lot of money is invested into this, and a lot of time is invested into this, because to convert one idea into a market ready product, we'll have to go through a lot of processes, and that nearly takes at least 5 to 10 years to put your product into the market. So that's one of the biggest hurdle any biotech founder will face.
Have a next question on what is one mistake students make when planning a future in biotechnology, and how can students avoid being outdated in biotechnology as automation and AI grows in Industry 5.0?
Students usually have a kind of imagination or a picture of some person wearing a lab coat and working towards a life-changing drug molecule inside a lab. That is the kind of picture any biotechnology, a person who is choosing this as a career will have in their mind, but they have to come out of this mindset. And there are a lot more opportunities beyond this. The perception of working only inside a lab, wearing a lab coat and working towards a life-saving medicine is not the only option for a biotechnology person. There are hundreds of more and more opportunities across the globe. And I think with the kind of technology we have now, it's very easy to explore all those opportunities beyond this.
Well, I move to the next. Is there anything more to add? Any of our speakers would like to? We have more than 5 questions on this, so I'll take it up, even though we touched upon this. What skill sets will I learn during this program? What skill sets are required, and also what skill sets I would learn from this program is another question. Questions, actually, we have more than 5 questions on.
So, yeah, the skills related to the microbiology skills, how to handle microbes, and then how to analyze the molecules that are present, biomolecules that are present, and also how to, produce them, how to clone and then produce some of the biochemicals and the proteins that are present, and what are the different techniques which are required to analyze the molecules, analytical techniques. These are some of the important things. Basically, it is like molecular biology, genetic engineering, biochemistry skills, cell biology skills, the bioinformatics skills, and also related to programming. Because in my presentation, I said programming is one of the most important aspects, and it is also need of the hour. So in most of these cases, especially in analysis, you use artificial intelligence and machine learning, and the students are made to learn some of the basic programming so that they can put these into their applications as well. Atira? So anyone wants to add in the meantime? Dr. Venkatakrishna, you want to add something? I think Atira is, yeah.
I mean, when she asked that question, the program, what does it mean? It's at VIT, I'm not sure exactly, but generally as a biotechnology, what kind of skill set is needed is what I'll try to address if possible. Especially during the interview, they see a lot the confidence in the candidate when they're attending the interview. If you're talking in terms of the skill set or the professional attitude, what kind of professional attitude they will expose during the interview time, and the practical confidence they have in terms of experimental ability, or we can also call it as a problem-solving ability or a critical thinking ability, which they should be able to address the same experiment from multiple ways. This happens only when they understand the experiment, the purpose, the principle behind the experiment, and why they are doing it. A lot of students will lack this ability. This is what I have come across during the interview in my own personal experience as well. So they'll be having very good marks on their card, but when we ask them some questions, not in a regular way, slightly in a different way, the same question if you ask, they're not able to answer. So this is where something is lacking in our curriculum, I feel. So they have to overcome this by exposing themselves to a lot of internships or the programs with a structured curriculum, which will also suit the industrial needs like VIT maybe. This is what I feel. Thank you.
We have many questions coming up, especially on the lines of, this is for Dr. Yashwant, do biotech offers a high-paying job?
Yes, biotech do offer high-paying jobs. Nowadays, students have a mentality like only computer science will offer high-paying jobs. It's not true. But currently, the domains such as biostatistics and bioinformatics with coding, they're definitely offering a package like Microsoft. Generally, they are giving. So better if you develop the skills with statistics and the coding, so you can definitely get good amount of salary. That is definitely possible.
No, the salary depends on the skill sets that you have and the requirement of the company as well. Because we have been going through the recruitment processes, and we can see that they get about 10 plus as a starting salary. So definitely, depending on the skill sets and the requirement of the industry, they will be paid.
Also, on how do we enroll this program at VIT?
Yes, I see that in Q&A there are repeating questions on how do I enroll.
Yeah.
So there is an entrance examination, a common VIT engineering entrance examination, which is VIT triple E. So which will be conducted in the month of April. I think the applications is open right now. And for biotech, yes, the students can write maths, physics, chemistry, or biology, physics, chemistry to enroll into the BTech program, BTech Biotechnology program. Yes, VIT Chennai, has a BTech Biotechnology program from the year 26-27, and you can enroll here.
Moving on to another questions on we have sorry. Is there any study groups or communities, study circles, etc., that you can recommend that share information about biotechnology in India, because they are hard to find them? Is another question.
Biotechnica is one group who are extremely covering all the possible opportunities and the news related to biotechnology. Biotechnica is one such. And apart from that, I think science career, there are a few more sites if they are looking for job opportunities and all. Yeah.
Have the India Bioscience is there, which
yes, India Bioscience. Yes.
And
Biospectrum is there.
Biospectrum. BioCruise is another organization which talks about, of course, more on bioinformatics related and application of biotechnology.
There is a question asking if VIT Chennai offers summer training and internship program or anything related.
No, for the students, yes, who have enrolled in the BTech Biotechnology, yes, we can offer the training programs, tailor-made training programs, not only those experiments which are part of the curriculum, because we want we want to upskill the techniques and the skill sets of the students. Definitely, yes, for students who are enrolled into the academic programs of VIT.
We have questions asking how to enroll into those internships. Is it only for students, or is it also for outsiders? There is a question asking if emailing professors would work.
Yes, probably in future we will do it.
Okay, another question on your thoughts about AI and especially in biotechnology. We did touch upon those, but if there is anything more to add on AI and biotechnology and thoughts on this.
Yes. See, there is a large amount of biological. There is a lot amount of biological data which has been built over the lot of years, especially on if we talk about the omics, genomics, proteomics, transcriptomics, right? And definitely with so much of data, it is impossible for anyone personally to analyze the data, curate the data, and get meaningful conclusions from them. And therefore, there is a need for applying artificial intelligence and machine learning approaches so that all these data that are present are grouped. That's why I said built up databases so that they can be grouped and derive meaningful information. So it's not just the deriving the meaningful information by doing an analysis, but AI and ML can also provide predictive models. It can also give predictions as to what can be the I would say the solution for a specific problem that the biotechnology forces on. So there is a lot of applications on AI and ML in biotechnology. In fact, one of the course in BTech Biotechnology will be addressing on this as well. And again, there will be a vertical. Like I said, the student can take up verticals. One of them is the computational biology, which is a vertical where they will be learning more about the AI and ML as well.
So if I can add, there are a lot of applications, a lot of products that are built out of AI/ML for healthcare applications, for prediction of, early prediction of some of the diseases, just in telemedicine, just by uploading the picture and use AI/ML to at least to screen if someone has, oral cancer or not, someone has TB or not. There are a lot of applications that can be built out of AI/ML with the data.
Right. Related to the image analysis and
Correct.
a lot of predictions that can be done.
We have a question.
Here is an advantage because the student has a biology background and also has the computational background. So it is more advantageous for them to choose a particular career in this.
We have a question for Dr. Yashwant asking, is it better to do an MBA after BTech in biotechnology?
Yes, definitely. Because during the undergraduate program, you have developed various lab skills, including all there, starting from molecular biology to microbiology. So now, if you are starting any business or something, so you want to starting from fundraising to manage the whole project. So you have to become a project manager and you have to fundraiser. So doing MBA is a good option. So it's good.
We also have a student from 9th grade asking if there are any books or materials that they need to focus to take up about biotechnology. Suggestions on materials they need to focus or
I guess Jayaraman sir is speaking, but on mute.
There is a lot of information that is available on the net, and then there are popular books on, how these, the discoveries are made, starting, especially on the drug developmental process. I'm not talking about highly technical, but then because at an early stage, it should be it should stimulate their interest in taking up roles in biotechnology. There are some popular books, but in terms of novels, yes.
I would also recommend to go through India Bioscience site again because they have very nice columns on some of the new discoveries, some of the interviews by experts, and also simple ways of science communications there, which a 9th grade student can understand.
I would recommend there are a lot of journals.
Specialized courses. Sorry, sir.
There are a lot of journals, especially in USA. Some journals are meant for high school students, like Journal of Emerging Investigators, a National High School Journal of Science, and Journal of High School Research, JHSR. There are a lot of journals across USA. There are at least 10 different journals who are publishing works related to biotechnology, biology, chemistry, and all subject areas. They can also go through these research articles from these journals.
We have a question asking on specializations. Are there different fields in biotechnology like cancer, biology, immunology, genetics, etc.? So for masters, if you could prefer specialized biotechnology field or only biotechnology, like a foundational course.
Okay. There are specializations, say MTech in industrial biotechnology, because the undergraduate program lays a very good foundation so that at PG level, either they can go for general biotechnology as well, because there are many universities which offer biotechnology as such in the post-graduation. But there are universities also which provide, very specific branches, like I said, industrial, animal biotechnology, plant biotechnology, pharmaceutical biotechnology. So there are specializations, but it depends on the interest and the acumen of the student. So definitely, yes, there is.
There is another student asking if VIT offers BSc plus MSc in biotechnology integrated or just BTech in biotechnology. They have posted the question more than 2 times since we
Yes.
didn't notice it.
I saw that. And then that's why I said from 26-27, we are offering BTech Biotechnology. And from 27-28 onwards, we will be floating the integrated MSc programs as well, which is BSc plus MSc. And as per the NEP, the student who enrolls for the 5-year integrated programs can have exit options at multiple levels after 3 years, 4 years, and as well as at the 5 years, of course, after getting the MSc degree as well. So to put point blank, the next academic year, 26-27, we'll be having BTech Biotechnology, and from 27-28 onwards, we'll be having integrated biotechnology programs as well.
There are also many questions on placement in core biotechnology companies that if VIT is offering and what percentage of the final year VIT students get placement. There are many questions coming related to placements at VIT.
Right. I think Dr. Venkatekrishnan already has listed the companies. And VIT, if you look into, every year we have about 800 plus companies who are coming for placements. Of course, it is for all the programs. But then we can see that there are students who get placed in multiple pharma company as well as biotechnology companies, including Syngene, Moji Healthcare, Reddy's Laboratories, Biocon, Serum Institute, right, AstraZeneca, Anthem Biosciences, Cadila Pharmaceuticals, Molecular Connections. So there are students who get placed or the internship initially, and after their completion of the internships, they are absorbed into the institute based on their performance. And there are students who take up direct PhD as well, especially in foreign countries and in IITs. And there are students who go for their PG programs as well. So I would say about 30% of the students go for higher education, 30 to 40. It depends on each year there is fluctuation. Yes. So there is a larger group of students go for higher education, and some students get placed in the companies which I had listed, both pharmaceutical as well as in the biotech related industries. So when I say biotech, all these branches which we touched upon, agriculture and the pharma companies and the aqua. So yes.
This is usual in our webinars. A question on AI. Will AI overtake my job if I pursue bioinformatics? There are more than one question, of course, on the same lines.
See, AI is just a tool, right? So that is AI and ML is just a tool to analyze the data, huge amount of data. It is not that it is going to take up the job. So you're going to, monitor, you're going to execute all those programs. So it is not that AI is going to take away all the jobs immediately. But I would say the efficiency in certain things will get enhanced. There can be robotics which can do some of the routine things that it's not needed to be done by humans. Yes, the robotics will come in, AI and ML will come in, but then you are the best person to judge and execute the things which is needed for the benefit of the human.
We have many questions coming on personal that as well. One is, are there fellowship available at VIT in work related to genomics? Yeah. So we have fellowship courses related to genomics.
Yes. At the undergraduate level, there is no institute who offers fellowships, but then the admission into the BTech program, yes, it depends on the fee structure, depends on your rank and the category in which you are being admitted. So that itself is a huge bonus because some percentage of the fee is waived or there is a concession that is given depending on the rank in the VIT entrance examination. But there is no exhibit, the fellowships that are given for any of the BTech programs I'm talking about. If it is going to be PhD, yes. PhD, which we will be starting in 27-28, VIT definitely provides fellowship for the PhD students who pursue their research.
We have semester one, first semester UG students asking on what basis should we select our elective? What are the criteria? What should we look for when selecting? On what basis should we select our electives?
So basically, electives depends on, like I said, the career path that the student wants to, take up, right? Say if they want to go for PG, or if they want to go to an industry, definitely the electives depends on those kind of settings, and not only the electives but also the projects which the student should undertake should be aligned with their dreams. In which career path would they like to go? Like I said, the different domains of biotechnology, whether they would like to go for biopharmaceutical productions, right? Even there, we talk about. There was also a question on what is the difference between the science stream as well as the engineering stream. There was also a few questions here. And definitely the engineering streams will know how to, not just manipulating the process, but also higher production and what are the parameters that are required for higher production. So basically it is the direction in which the student would like to go on and their interest.
Thank you, Doctor. We do have questions coming up, but due to time constraints, we'll only be able to take 2 to 3. But please feel free to drop your questions, and over the mail also our doctors will be available to answer them. Another question, we'll take 2 more. Does that sound okay? I'll take 2 more. Another question is, what advice would you give students who feel unsure about choosing between academia, industry, and entrepreneurship?
I guess they have enough time, 4 years, and they can explore multiple things in 4 years. These days, I see students looking for, exposure in biotech or even outside biotech during their summers, short terms. You can explore multiple opportunities before you even decide, and 4 years is a good time for that. And VIT definitely gives opportunities for all the types of, internships and exposures required.
And
just to add one point, ANRF, a separate kind of a team created by a government, is giving 1 lakh crore fund to all the startups across the country in various ways, through the first level of program managers and then second level of program managers. They're trying to support a lot of startups across the country through this fund. I just wanted to add this point.
Now, even VIT supports some of the yes. Startups as well. We have the incubation, and definitely if the idea is good and through mentoring programs, they definitely can choose the options of becoming an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Shall we take one more final question? We have a question asking, how does biotechnology solve emerging global? What is its role in solving emerging global problems? We'll end with that, guys.
This has been explained already by all of us in various ways.
Yes.
In terms of food technology, if you take food biotechnology, and if you take plant biotechnology, animal biotechnology, and the studies related to gene expression studies and all that, all the vaccines that we are getting nowadays is because of a lot of research behind it. And in terms of biodegradation, biodegrading the pollutants, and coming up with hybrid varieties of plants which can give better yields. So likewise, to list out many, there are many more applications in biotechnology. Many more we'll see in the future also.
Yeah, they could also look into the recent report by the Government of India on bioeconomy E3, which talks about the major, thematic areas where India has the opportunity to become a global manufacturing hub in biotech.
Biofuels, biofuel production as well.
Biofuels, bioagri, IT and service, pharma, the 6 sectors that are being, showcased there, which has immense opportunities.
With that, we come to the end of the Q&A session, and we do have more questions in the chat box, but feel free to email our doctors, and I'm sure they'll be answering to all your questions there. Thank you once again to our speakers for sharing their experiences and perspectives. So in today's discussion, we highlighted biotechnology careers are expanding across research, industry, education, and entrepreneurship. Industry 5.0 places people, sustainability, and purpose on the center of innovation. There is no single career path. Adaptability and curiosity matter. Strong foundations combined with real-world exposure can open diverse opportunities. On behalf of VIT Chennai and the Hindu, thank you to everyone who joined us today. We hope this session helps you make informed, confident choices about your future in biotechnology. Wishing you all a great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you again, panelists, and everyone who joined. Thank you.